Well, Monday afternoon, in a 6-3 decision, the Supreme Court ruled that those who were convicted of murder and charged to life in prison without the possibility of parole as juveniles should be given the chance to be paroled. Well, today we spoke with a lawmaker and a county prosecutor, both of which have very different feelings on what this ruling means for the future of juvenile murder charges.
Science has shown there is a distinction in the way their brains function and that we need to treat children differently.
State Representative Greg Leding said Monday's Supreme Court ruling was a decision he has backed for many years. In 2015, Leding co-sponsored a bill with Republican Missy Irving that would provide juveniles sentenced to life in prison without parole the possibility to be paroled in the future. That bill, which ultimately failed in the state house, was similar in principle to the Supreme Court ruling.
So yesterday's ruling makes it clear that you can no longer sentence a minor to life without parole, except under just very rare circumstances.
But not everyone supports the Supreme Court's decision.
The court in this case has really taken power away from the states and the people to determine what is an appropriate legislative prerogative, what sentences are appropriate for different kinds of crimes.
Benton County Prosecutor Nathan Smith says individual states should be left to handle the issue.
You don't have to be a fortune teller to know where the court's going, and that is eventually, I believe that they're trying to land at the spot of life without parole for juveniles simply being unconstitutional.
Smith says retrying and resentencing convicted murderers decades after a crime could not only be incredibly difficult, but could also revive horrific memories for those involved.
And I think the real tragedy of the case is it deprives victims and their families of the finality that they were guaranteed by jury verdicts.
But Leding believes some crimes committed as a juvenile should not completely override someone's possibility to thrive in society after serving an adequate punishment.
Somebody, if they commit a horrible crime, absolutely deserves to go to jail. But if it's a 14-year-old boy who just happens to make a tragic decision, there's nothing good about that, but we should work to find whatever hope we can in that situation.
Now, here in Arkansas, there are more than 50 people in jail who were sentenced to life in prison without parole as minors. While Arkansas is 33rd in the nation for population, they are 6th in the nation for inmates sentenced to life in prison without parole as minors. Caitlin.